Well, good morning, everyone. I'm April Rochelle of Bashar Communications, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to another exciting day of contact with Bashar. Today's session is entitled Mirror, Mirror, and I think Bashar is going to be talking about some recent scientific discoveries and how they reflect some changes that are happening on our planet. Just to let you know, upcoming events in June 16th, 17th, and 18th will be in Los Angeles. And then on July 8th, we will be in Oakland, California, near San Francisco. So we hope you can join us for that. And now it's my great pleasure to introduce to you the person that's making this channeling possible. Please join me in a round of applause for Darryl Anka. Okay, so well, I guess all of us want to just thank you for your ability to do this. I don't. Oh, oh, you didn't need them anyway.
Yeah, the plant's holding them for me. We have a special relationship.
So again, thank you all so much for being here, and thank you, Darryl and Bashar, for bringing through this amazing information. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, guys, have fun. I will see you in a little while. I'm going to take a day to you this day of your time. How are you all? All right. All right, thank you. We would like to begin this transmission by reminding you that it is titled Mirror, Mirror. The idea behind this concept is that you have for some time known that certain things that exist in your physical reality, certain things that exist in the cosmos, can sometimes function as permission slips or symbols or reflections of things going on in not only your individual consciousness, but the collective consciousness of your world. So the idea is that these reflections can be looked at, can be understood in a manner as to reveal and illuminate some of the changes going on within you that you may not necessarily immediately see physically, but can give you an idea of what's happening deep within your consciousness that may ultimately move forward and crystallize enough to begin to experience those reflections in your physical world. One such thing that you have used for some time is the permission slip that you have called astrology, where you are looking to the signs and symbols in the stars and planets to be somewhat representative or reflective of certain themes you have chosen to experience in life. Now again, these things do not in any way, shape, or form control you, but they can reflect what's already been laid down by you from a higher level of consciousness. And in using them as that symbolic mirror, it can, depending upon whether you have an affinity for that particular kind of sensing, be used to help bring insight to the things that may not be immediately evident within your consciousness, things that might be in your unconscious mind, your subconscious mind, revealing more about yourself to yourself in such a manner as to allow you to move forward in your life in a more clear and conscious way. But we would like to address and use this concept in a different way now. We have begun to talk about, in these transmissions, the changes that are now going on your planet. Obviously, you are having a lot of fun in your country at this particular moment. As we said, as the ramifications of all the things that changed in the fall of 2016. So let us continue to illuminate some of the things now that are going on and represented in the cosmos as to what is physicalizing in your world. We have discussed from time to time the idea of parallel realities, and that the concept of you experiencing time is actually your consciousness shifting through billions of different versions of Earth, billions of different parallel realities every single second, and by doing so, creating this illusion you call time and space and change. But we have also begun to remind you that as you now recognize many different people think in one way, and other people think and believe in another way, and others and others and others, you are beginning to see what appears to be a divided culture, polarization, all sorts of very opposing opinions, and so on and so forth. But you're seeing far more than that. The idea is that you're actually beginning to see the splitting physically, not metaphorically anymore, the splitting physically into different parallel reality tracks. We have used the analogy before of different train tracks leaving a station. And if you are on one train, you may still be able to look across and see the other train that is leaving the station next to you, but eventually those tracks will diverge. And over time, you will find that it will be more of a challenge to see the other trains on the other tracks or even reach those other trains, and eventually you will no longer see them at all. You'll be in your own reality experience, only experiencing the things that are relevant for the train that you are on. Now, the idea is that this split has now begun to happen physiologically. You may not immediately recognize this because you can still see what's going on the other trains. You can still see that there are people who are vibrating at different frequencies from you that are vibrationally incompatible with what you may be experiencing or prefer to experience in your reality. Nevertheless, just because you can still see them doesn't necessarily mean that you actually are existing physically in the same reality. At this particular moment in the split, it is transparent enough and close enough in frequency that you can still perceive other parallel realities, but you have actually started to diverge physiologically into different parallel time tracks. The symbol that represents this idea in the cosmos with the stars and the planets has been scientific discoveries that you have made in recent times. The first one of significance being that your astronomers discovered what you would call a relatively Earth-like planet around your closest star, Proxima Centauri, that could possibly support life as you understand it. The idea of your search for Earth-like planets is part and parcel of your consciousness understanding that you are splitting into different parallel versions of Earth. So it's reflected by the fact that the first one you've discovered is around the next closest star to you, and that right there, as soon as you discovered and recognized that idea, was the beginning of the actual physical split into different Earths. But you started with the idea of yours and that one. So immediately you created the idea of two completely separate, different parallel time tracks, parallel reality experiences of the idea of an Earth. As many of you know, however, more recently, your astronomers have reported that they discovered another star system, what you call a red dwarf by the name of TRAPPIST-1, that actually has, amazingly enough, 7 Earth-like planets orbiting it. That's a very rare find. And the fact that you actually found it that quickly is another indication of the timing of the splitting into parallel realities. And so you went then from 2 all of a sudden to 9, including the 7, the one around Proxima Centauri, and your own. So now you have a cosmic reflection of the fact that the split into parallel realities is now inclusive of 9 different parallel tracks. This will continue as you discover more and more Earth-like planets around other stars. That will continue to represent and symbolize energetically and reflectively the idea of the actual physical splitting into different parallel tracks. And as this gains momentum, you will begin to experience more of the physical results of that split. Being able to know that you can accelerate in the direction that you prefer to experience and experience over time less and less and less of those parallel tracks that contain realities you don't prefer to experience. Again, this may take a little time, but that's all right. We're simply letting you know that what's going on now is beyond metaphor, is beyond something that's just happening as a concept. It is actually now physically splitting, even though you may not immediately be able to see that. The signs that it is truly happening physically will also grow stronger over time. Now, remember, again, it doesn't matter so much what's happening in the realities that you can still see and perceive. It really matters most what you do with that, how you respond to that, even if it doesn't appear to be changing outwardly. So the idea that we gave you before about the fact that perhaps prior to the great changes that happened in your fall of 2016, you felt like maybe you were floating down a little peaceful stream. And then suddenly, as those changes occurred in an unexpected way, you found yourself being jostled by rapids. But as we have said, if you learn how to ride the rapids, if you learn how to balance yourself and go through the rapids in a balanced way, you will actually be able to get downstream much, much faster than originally you would have. So the idea also is coupled with the fact that since what happened for so many people was tremendously unexpected, it allows you to go within your mind, well, if that could happen, if something that unexpected could happen, anything can happen. All bets are off, as you say in your city. And therefore, you can now use the idea of the unexpected to your advantage to know that if that can happen, then anything that I'm dreaming of that's true for me can also happen. So you can use that energy, even though it may be representative to many people of things they don't prefer, you can use that energy to accelerate you in the direction that you do by letting go of how it appears and just using the momentum that it has caused and the breakout that it has caused, breaking from the status quo that it has caused, to know that now you are actually more free than before to create the reality experience that you prefer. And the reflection in the cosmos of all the different Earth-sized planets you are now discovering are a reflection that you have started that physical split. And the more you stay in the energy and the state of being that you prefer to be, and the more you act from that state in your life, and the more you define everything that happens in your life in a way that allows you to extract a positive and beneficial effect from it, the sooner and stronger you will experience the physicality of the splits into the different parallel realities that we are now discussing with you. And you will see things changing within your world in ways you couldn't have imagined before, in ways you never would have thought could actually occur. But you will see an acceleration in this between now, specifically, your years of 2020. There will be many different things going on. If you take advantage of them in all the ways your imagination can, in positive ways, you will find that by the end of that period, you're going to be in a very different place in your lives, a place that would be more reflective and more conducive to experiencing your truth, your preference, in the way that you know is aligned with your core essential being. So, in looking to these reflections and paying attention to the discoveries that you're making in the outer reality reflection, you can then gauge what is really going on within the collective consciousness and even within your own individual consciousness as you become more and more aware of these symbols reflecting these ideas to you. Is this making sense to you? Yes. All right. So please have fun with it. Don't worry. Don't react to the things that you don't prefer, because remember, even if something crops up in your life you don't prefer, it's still there for a reason you can use in a positive way. Make it part of your excitement that things crop up you don't prefer, because it's going to give you an opportunity to see, by contrast, what it is you do prefer more clearly. That's how to use that in a positive way, instead of simply matching the vibration of what you don't prefer by moping about it. The idea is nothing affects you until you agree to be affected. You are changing your own energy to match the frequencies of things you believe are true. So watch your definitions and create new definitions that work for you, instead of just assuming that the ones that don't work for you are facts that you cannot change. The only facts that exist in your creation are the 5 facts we call the 5 laws. You exist, everything is here and now. The one is all, the all are one. What you put out is what you get back. Everything changes except the laws. Everything else other than those facts are not facts. They are perspectives, they are opinions, they are beliefs. And you can change every single one of those. Make sense? All right. We thank you for allowing us to reflect this back to you this day in this magic mirror. And we ask in return, what way may we now be of service to you? You may begin with your dialogues and questions if you wish. Oh, not all at once.
Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day.
Oh my gosh.
Speak up, speak up.
Okay. So it's a pleasure being in your presence, first off.
It is always an honor and a pleasure for us to interact with each and every one of you as well.
And okay, so I have so many questions, but the
Yes.
main question that I would like to ask is, what is an aurora borealis, or like the southern lights? It
What
feels like,
is it?
Right. I mean, I know scientifically what they say that it is, but I feel like it's like a connection to another realm or dimension.
Well, it can be representative of such a thing. The scientific explanation is generally correct for the actual physiological phenomenology. Nevertheless, there are many vortices on your planets, many different kinds of dimensional gates. Sometimes an aurora can interact with such a gate, such a dimensional doorway, and illuminate it temporarily for a variety of reasons. But the idea is that it may be associated with such things from time to time, but it is not in and of itself such a thing. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It does. Oh, one other thing. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay. So, what about Antarctica? I'm so connected to Antarctica right now, and I just feel like it's some truths that are going to develop from there, as far as like developing the higher consciousness. I don't know.
Well, it can be used that way. It is, now that it is covered with ice, a very giant reflective mirror for a variety of things in consciousness. It is to some degree representative of a clean slate, because on your planet, no one really owns it. Do you understand?
Yes.
No one really occupies it in the way that you occupy other land masses on your planet. So it is a kind of place where coming together can happen, where a clean slate can be created energetically and in consciousness. It is something that can function as a starting point. Now, eventually, as it was a long time ago, the ice will go away and the land masses underneath the ice will be revealed once again in the future. And it can be a starting place to create a new society on your planet in the far future that can be far more representative of a balanced and blended society that is harmonious within itself. And that energy can spread around your planet to the rest of the land masses as well. So it can be used in a variety of creative ways, yes. But it is also for you a connection to the idea of what you call the ancient past, when there was no ice on it, when it was occupied by some of the ancient civilizations of your planet. So you have a connection to those time frames and a connection to the experiences of those that actually occupied that landmass when there was no ice. You understand?
Yes.
But you are recognizing now the completion of a cycle. It's coming around again. Yes?
Yes. Yes. All right. Thank you so much.
Yes. Does that help you?
Yes, it does very
All
much.
right. Anything else?
So many things, but no, I'll just watch your videos and just follow my higher consciousness. Yes.
Act on your highest passion to the best that you are able. Don't forget the third part, with zero insistence on the outcome.
That's right. Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
And then you will flow in the current that is true for you. Please remember, all of you, surrendering is not giving up control. It's surrendering to the control you already have.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Go with the flow.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I'm still fairly new to your transmissions, so...
Oh, that's all right. We are obviously then fairly new to yours.
My first question is, what is lucid dreaming?
Lucid dreaming is an awareness that you are not really locked in a physical reality. It is an awakening in a dream state typically speaking, that allows you to know you are actually beyond the physical, that you have awoken on the spirit level and recognize that the dream you were having is just a creation of yours. And once you are lucid in the dream, you can connect to what we call the blueprint level from which physical reality is created, from which it is projected, and actually become more lucid in the physical dream as well. So it's a very powerful state of recognizing a perspective from the level of consciousness above physical reality, where you actually become awake on that level rather than remaining in what you call a typical dream. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
All right.
So, from a young child, I've been lucid dreaming this entire time. I'm 38 years old now.
Oh, all right.
And
what do you do when you wake up in the dream?
I've actually trained myself to do different things, different abilities, different experiences,
right.
traveling to different dimensions, planets. What I've seen.
How exciting!
What looked like native people to Earth, but not.
Well, some, not all, some of the native people on Earth actually did come from elsewhere.
That makes sense.
Especially what you call the Maya.
Yeah. So recently, within the past 2 years, some new experiences have come to light where I wake up and I can't tell the difference between this reality and the dream state.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That is how our civilization now functions. We don't sleep anymore because we understand that the physical reality is a dream every bit as much as the idea of what you typically call a dream. And therefore we are now not only lucid in the idea of physical reality, therefore we don't break a connection or create the idea of a disconnection between the physical and the non-physical. It's all the same kind of consciousness projection to us, and therefore we are always awake and always dreaming. That's why we no longer sleep. So you are beginning to experience that blending that we have experienced long ago in our culture. You are evolving to the point where you recognize that you're always connected to Source, you're always connected to Spirit, and therefore you don't really have to go unconscious anymore to make that connection happen. You can be wide awake and realize that the connection is always there, and that physical reality can be just as flexible, just as malleable as anything you would call a typical dream. Yes?
Yes.
And so?
So
are you having fun?
I am having fun.
All right.
My main question would be, what do I do with all the information that I've been receiving over the years?
How would you like to apply it to your life on Earth? What excites you? The idea of acting on your passion is staying in alignment with your truth. So whatever form of expression creatively you wish to use the information in, how you wish to apply the information, is up to you. That's completely under your control. Whatever's most exciting for you in terms of its application. Use your imagination. Download information from the higher mind. How can you use some of the experiences and information that you have gathered in your lucid dreaming?
That makes sense.
Can you give an example?
I don't know.
Oh, come on. Dream one up.
Well, most of the time I use the information that I receive to teach and give knowledge to others that I
Well,
experience.
isn't that exciting?
It is very exciting because it's something that they've never experienced to themselves.
Well, then there you go. That's one application, isn't it?
It definitely is.
Is there some other application you would also like to express that you're not expressing at this time that would be exciting and a representation of your passion?
None that resonate with me.
You have nothing else in life that gives you passion?
Not really.
Oh. But does the teaching express your passion?
It does,
All
absolutely.
right. Do you need to do anything else?
I don't know. I feel like I do.
You feel like you do.
Yeah.
Well, what do you imagine that might be?
I don't know.
Maybe you're looking for something too big. Remember that when we talk about the idea of acting on your excitement, we don't necessarily mean it has to come in the form of a career or a job or some life-spanning project. We mean simply, at every single moment, look at all the options available to you and just act on the one that contains even just this much more excitement than any other option, and act on that first to the best you're able till you can act on it no further, and do it with no insistence on what the outcome should look like. If you just keep doing that, you'll be doing everything you need, and you'll open up the avenue of synchronicity to bring you in an obvious way any other opportunity that you do need to act on that might be a larger expression, a fuller expression of your excitement. But if nothing else comes in that form, it doesn't necessarily need to, because if you're always acting on whatever is more exciting than any other option, you are still living your excitement every moment, aren't you?
Yeah.
I assume, not meaning this in an egotistical way, but I assume you are here today because it excited you to come here more than any other option at the moment.
Yes.
Well, that's all that we're talking about. When this interaction is over, all you need to do is say, well, what's available to me? I could take a walk, I could read a book, I could have lunch with a friend, I could make a phone call, I could see a movie, I could fly a kite, I could go sailing, I could go surfing, I could go flying. Just pick the one that has a little bit more attractiveness, a little bit more excitement, or a lot more than any other, and just do that first and see where it leads you. It's following that thread that will ultimately connect you to anything else you actually need to be doing that is representative of your excitement, because one of the tools of excitement is that it is a path that connects to all expressions that are relevant for your life. So if you just start the ball rolling in some way, shape, or form, it will lead you to all the other forms in which you need to express your excitement. You can keep it simple and start simply first. Does that help?
It does.